Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing a Golgari anti-meta discard deck that is basically a Golgari deck that has a bunch of discard in it. That's cool. And I know we played one that was pre-rotation, and this one tends to feature a bunch of cards from Bloomburrow, as well as some cards we didn't have in our pre-rotation deck. Is it any good? Will it be cool? Yeah, let me warn you, it is a cool deck indeed. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, and this episode will be performed entirely by Sock Puppets. Doctor, you can't suck it. Yes, thank you. Film for a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by Poor Planeswalker, called Golgari Anti-Meta Discard. Anti-Meta Discard. So yeah, that anti-meta, that's quite a claim there. It says that whatever we run across that's pretty popular in meta, this deck is going to take it down. How is it going to do that? Well, apparently through discard, because this deck is loaded with it. While then the cool thing is a lot of discard decks are usually mono black, this one's got a bunch of green in it. How much green are we really talking about here? Just 2 cards? That's barely enough green to shake a stick at. But yet, enough green to call this Golgari. Love you, Glissa. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards that are in this deck. And then we'll talk a little bit how the deck should work. And then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got going on here? We got kills little creatures. Discard. Discard. And then it has flashback to force a discard again. Got discard possibly times 2. And then basically punishing them if they don't have enough cards in their hand. Suck it, opponent. And then if they don't have enough cards in their hand, you get to draw cards if you pay for the full meal deal there. All right, creature kill. A guy with Death Touch that'll draw cards for you. This one will destroy creatures. It'll force discards. And if you can get up to -6, you can force them to separate all their permanents into 2 different piles. And then they have to pick one of them to sacrifice. Glissa is the best defender in the world with that first strike and Death Touch. As long as you're not going up somebody with first strike or double strike, then she will always destroy them. Whenever you do damage to a player, whenever she does, you get to draw a card and lose a life, or you could destroy target enchantment, or you can remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. So excellent job there, Glissa. Hostile Investigator. When it enters, opponent discards cards, so that's discard. And when more players discards a card, you investigate. So with Investigate, it allows you to draw a card. The Baloth, he's pretty cool. When he enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. You got a 4/4 for 4. That's it. But if somebody forces you to discard a card, and you choose to get rid of the Baloth, then instead of putting it into the graveyard, you put it into the battlefield. So, yeah, if you're going up against another discard deck, you can get this guy out early, like on turn 1 potentially, and that would be incredible. Other than that, we got Gix's Command, which allows you to do some board wipey kind of stuff. Return guys from your graveyard to your hand, or put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature and it gains lifelink until the end of turn. So, it's cool. It's a cool card. It usually does very well. But we don't really need it as well. But for 5, so that means everything we need to do is 4 or less. This practically makes this into an aggro deck. What do we got as far as lands concerned? We got some land killers. We got some man lands. We got some fast in the first 3 rounds lands and pain lands. On that, you get some regular basic, and that's what we got going on. So what are we going to do? We're going to try to kill their creatures. We're going to try to make them discard a bunch of stuff. And then we'll get out some cards, some guys, and we'll beat them up. Try to hopefully finish them off. That sounds good, then that's what we're going to do. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, though, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Shuldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear lamentations of the women. Alright, we are playing against CrackedDota. Couple of good discard cards there. This guy's got no sleeves, and I think he does no pet. Yet he's at gold. What's up with that, man? Alright, mana. Nah, it's not mana. Just forcing him to exile stuff. We need a mana on our next pull. Absolutely. What did he give up there? You guys got like a tree growing out of him. That's not cool. He's got a lot of those Mavericks. All right, come on. You can do it, mana. That's not mana. I gotta hope he tries to force me to discard something. That's not mana. That was mana. That cost me a lot. These are starting to do some damage. There we go. And I can get it out. Let's give it a Glissa. She's one of the best defenders out there. And I think that guy destroys non-land permanent. Which is for her. Alright, so what do I got coming at me? At least 4 points of damage I can't do anything about. And I can't do anything about this now. Because you can get at least one more guy through. Oh, there's some life gain. Woo, that's good. Thank you, Baloth, for being a life linker, a life gainer. Just for 4 points. But it means a lot to me. Gotta stand back like an idiot and defend. My guys are good, though. All right, so I can kill one guy, which is going to do something. No, this forces a discard occur. I can get in. These guys can't block. But I'll die if I do it. See if we can pull something better here. That's just scrying. All right, the question is, can he work his way around me? If he opens himself up too much, I could just kill him. So I got to play this to where he's going to try to be old aggro on me. And I think we got it. And we win. Suck it. Victory. All right, we're playing against Legacy 2786. All right, hope we can pick up a third mana. And we got it. We got there. Somebody playing Gruul. Dinosaur. Alright, nothing to do with 2 mana, especially just 1. That guy's a butt. I mean, if that's what he's putting out at 3, we got a problem. Cut downs are just going to be nothing. I'd expect a hulking raptor at this point. This doesn't look like water. It looks like goo. Go in. All right, let's go teach him what love's about. What does he have? He's got a man land we can kill. Oh man, I wish I had still had it. We could have one open mana. Would have been so much. Let's put out another preacher. We'll go ahead and cut down this egg. We'll leave ourselves open and say no attacks. 1 mana opens so we can cut down if he tries to put out another little boy at some point. Dinosaur at this point, it's going to be big. Yeah, your 3/3 did nothing. All right, we need to get ourselves some forest. And I'm gonna put out a dude. Get some damage going. We're picking up a lot of lands. That's not cool at this point. Okay, that doubles everything up on attacks. Give it up. Yes. Nice. All right, we got a token. We just got to take Bone Hard. I will do both. Unfortunately, he gets another one out of the deal. That's the suck. Well, good. Victory! We are playing against the Rising Sun. Keep. Alright, we're good enough to be able to cut something down potentially. Give it up, yo. You're just going to go pull a blue for that, I would imagine. If this spell was cast from the graveyard, draw a card. So flashback, huh? That's like next time, baby. All right, that's all I can do. You put out a guy that's too big for me to shoot with the cut down. Once again, cut down is a turd in my hand. And we get to draw a card out of the deal. And yet another. I don't have any creatures to bring back. I got nothing. This card's not going to do anything good for me at all. Wonder Twin Power, activate. Alright, fine. Do I even have creatures in this deck? Yes, I got a bunch of them. I'm thinking we're going to go for this kill. I mean... Okay, I won't. And we'll just do something here. We'll go scry up a little bit. Come on, creatures. Nice. Alright, I'll take those. One. Two. What am I looking with here? 4 mana? I don't know what the ward is in this case. 1. Sure, we'll auto pay that. I have no problem. Let's beef this stuff up. Alright, it's down to 2. We're at 4. We're not doing that much better. But finally I can start using Gix's command, possibly. Guys! Alright, the bandits are totally ripping this guy apart. Looks like he's got something with it going after creatures. Had nobody to get back, apparently. And that's he loses. Alright, there we go! Sucker, sucker fish. Victory. Alright, we're playing against Ikameshi. 2 mana. Alright, let's get this guy out. He's fine. Let's go after his hand. Suck it. Next turn, it's going to be 2 of them. Get rid of a card. Get rid of a card. Ooh, so you're good for getting discarded against. All right, cool. Let's hit him up again. We'll soften up the doughboy. Alright, now punish him for not having enough cards. Like one does. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and draw. Ooh, that is a miserable card. I really dislike cut down. All right, there we go. Winner, winner! Victory dinner. All right, we are playing against Andreolli. All right, Blooming Marsh is number 1. Let's do a little hand hate here. Hand hate! Alright, Blooming Marsh number 2. Let's just kill that guy. Because we can. Alright, who are we getting rid of here? Take this command. Alright, number 3 gets us into a Glissa. Ooh, he's all wicked now. Alright, let's see what he does. You gonna block it? You recognize the threat? Alright, there we go. I mean, I could have put out Preacher. Do I really want to give him up? Not really. That feels much better. To stare down a Novice Spectre. Alright, he's got an instant in his hand. Now we're going to force the situation. Ooh, he really likes what he's got. Alright, tokens. Or Glissa. Gonna take a shot now. Oh, mana value 2 or less. And we win! Alright. Suck it! Victory! Alright, so here we are at the Golgari anti-meta discard. And this deck did fantastic. I was playing it on the casual play, and, you know, it got 100%. And I'm just like, alright. Let's go see how this is going to do on rank. It did a great job. I played it 3 games, but you know, I lost 1, but it was really close. So this deck is very, very good. And I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. So let's get down to ranking it there. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? I'm looking here, and my big problem with this deck is there isn't a bunch of big creatures. That wasn't helping. I got to say it's probably Glissa. Now, that's hard to say because she wasn't that, like for the deck, she wasn't super important, but she was for a single card, the best card that provided the most value. Now, the thing that really did it was the discard part. The discard part was fantastic. Unfortunately, that's made up of a lot of stuff. It's Hopeless Nightmare, Ruthless Negotiation, Bandit's Talent, Liliana, that kind of discard was really the MVP of this particular deck. But I got to say that just on its own, probably Glissa Sunslayer had the most value of all the cards that we played and did the best job of, defending, taking out enchantments, potentially doing some card draw. I mean, Glissa was just a power pack of awesomeness there. All right, so congratulations, Glissa. You individually are going to Disneyland. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. I played it in casual, got 100%, switched over to the ranked, and got 67%. It was it was a great deck. It was completely competitive. I'd say this is a good one to go with. Who did I fight? Rabbits was a hard one for me, apparently. Just because, that thing, they grew like crazy. It was a problem. And I didn't have quite enough creature removal to handle them fast enough. Let's see. So, was this deck... What do I say? We picked the card. MVP. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Sorry, I got lost track there. Was this deck a fun deck? Yeah, it was. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of stuff going on in the early game, which means you're playing your cards early. I just remember this deck did a good job of usually getting out Hopeless Nightmare and Bandit's Thief on turn 2. The way that the mana came out was decent, so I can play the cards I needed to get. By the time I got to turn 3, there was a lot of different things we could do. I always liked it just slamming out the Hopeless Nightmares, just coming down on them hard for making them get rid of what's in their hand. It feels good to sort of soften people up so that they didn't have a bunch of stuff to actually do. And then if they were dumb and they started holding on to expensive cards and they couldn't get enough mana, they're just sitting there doing nothing. I love that. That felt so good. All right, was this deck interesting? Now, the deal was that before we got to rotation, I put together a Golgari discard rotation-proof deck. And I thought, is this significantly different from that? And I think the answer is yes. I think the most interesting card in here for me is probably Obstinate Baloth. With so much discard flowing around out there right now, the fact that this guy would just, instead of going to the graveyard, goes to the battlefield instead. And I wanted that to happen so bad. I ended up just paying for him more times than not. 4/4, he was all right. But the fact that I got 4 life, that saved my butt like at least twice. Obstinate Baloth, man. That guy was pretty dang good. I'm a little disappointed I didn't have more than him. But he wasn't, we don't have a lot of creatures in here. It seems like it's mostly about the discard action. Sorry, hiccups. And, but it did what it did, and that's all we really needed to do. All right, but was it interesting? Yeah, I like seeing essentially a new version with Bloomburrow cards in there. We're playing up with like Ruthless Negotiation, Bandit's Talent, anything else that was new. Probably some lands, maybe. Negative. Yeah, just those 2 new cards. It was good, but yeah, getting the Obstinate Baloth in here. I don't think we had a Hostile Investigator in our last discard deck. He was cool. Thing is, he came out so late, I was usually over with the discard cards before that could happen. Comboing him up with Liliana would be a good deal. This didn't happen in any of the games I played. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Yeah, it was actually. So I'm going to give this deck an A+. I'm going to give it an A+. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.